I'm convinced that Stonehenge was an astronomical observatory and was also used as a computer for following the movement of the moon around the horizon. In my estimation, Stonehenge should be rated as the eighth wonder of the ancient world. There's been a lot of speculation about the astronomy at Stonehenge for a long time. And I felt that it was an observatory, without thinking too deeply about it. I was rather surprised to find that no detailed astronomical calculations had been made. And so perhaps for the first time, I, as an astronomer, began to calculate all of the possibilities in the archways and stone holes at the site.
The archways, 20 feet high and only 1 foot wide, too narrow to walk through. Then why were they built? The astronomers answer, to look through at heavenly bodies. Tradition said the Stonehenge axis pointed to the midsummer sunrise with a boulder called the heel stone to mark the exact spot. Scientists said it was only approximate, inconclusive. But according to Hawkins's figures, the heel stone marked the sunrise exactly. What did the other stones mark? He put the plan of Stonehenge on a plotting machine. The positions of everything, stones, stone holes, and archways, were measured and the positions punched automatically on cards. The question he wanted answered, between 2000 and 1500 BC, did any combination of stones or archways line up with the rise or set points of any heavenly bodies? He looked for a match with the planets and all the major stars. Now, the sun rises in the east in spring. Gradually, the rising point moves farther north along the horizon until midsummer. Then it starts back. In autumn, it's in the east again. It moves southward until midwinter's day, then turns back to repeat the yearly cycle. The moonrise point moves back and forth across the horizon in an even more complicated pattern than the sun. There was a card for each of its key positions. After repeated measurements, over 200 positions of stones and holes were fed into the computer. These positions were taken in pairs and the directions they pointed to on the horizon were calculated. The answer came back from the computer in 60 seconds. Star alignments, no relationship. Planets, nothing. But for the sun, the computer found 10 matching alignments. And then a surprise. 14 Stonehenge alignments point directly to the key rising and setting points of the moon. 24 precise alignments, all based on the calculation that the sun rose directly over the heel stone at midsummer. The historian Diodorus of Sicily wrote in 50 BC, there are on the island of Hyperborea both a magnificent sacred precinct of Apollo and a notable temple, circular in shape. The moon, viewed from this island, appears to be but a little distance from the earth. The account is also given that the god visits the island every 19 years. Could Hyperborea have been England? An archaeologist sent Hawkins the quotation and asked if there were anything spectacular the moon might do every 19 years. Hawkins's quick reaction, an eclipse, perhaps over the heel stone. An eclipse like this one at Stonehenge was sheer terror for the ancients. Even today, primitive people bang pans and shoot guns to drive off evil spirits from devouring the moon. A Stone Age priest who knew when an eclipse was due would have tremendous power. Hawkins went back to the computer to find out about full moons, when they were eclipsed, when they were over the heel stone. The first figure out of the machine was the one he was looking for, 19 years. The midwinter full moon is eclipsed over the heel stone at intervals of 19 years, 19 years, and 18 years. Total cycle, 56 years. What was the significance? Then he remembered. Those 56 white spots around the outer circle of Stonehenge. 56 chalk-filled holes called Aubrey holes after the man who discovered them. Archaeologists had never been able to explain those holes. They were the most baffling mystery at Stonehenge. Why were they dug? They had never held posts or stones. As soon as they were dug, they were filled up again. No one could explain their purpose or the peculiar number. 56 holes. 56 years in the eclipse cycle. Was it just a wild coincidence? He began to experiment. Suppose you put marker stones in certain Aubrey holes, shifted them 1 hole per year.